Blessings, everyone. As always, we will begin with a general look at the incoming wave that will have an effect on all people of all signs. Remember, incoming waves are here to stay, not just for a week, but as a new dynamic of this reality experience. This week, we have the High Priestess and the Hierophant, or High Priest, illustrating the new Earth dynamic that will be integrating into each personal and collective experience. There is so much intervention here, so much assistance. Those two cards together bring a harmony of spiritual truth and experiential truth, the internal and external reality merging into one coherent whole. The High Priestess brings great activation and awareness of the spiritual process in its complete truth to all. The Hierophant brings divine intercession and intervention with rerouting those who are lost back onto their true path. This will show up in many ways. In the April preview, we discussed disclosure through exposure in regards to the spiritual processes of the universe on a multidimensional level. This wave begins the revival, or aptly timed resurrection, of the divine truth of the self and the universe. Spiritual contact, skill, and healing will be abundant the world over. Do not allow yourself to get slowed down by distractions. Filter the sensational media, both mainstream and non-mainstream. Get away from the confirmation-biased interactions. Take space from wounded healer distraction activities. Shut down identity agendas and groupthink immersion. Voids and emptiness will be filled completely over with the new light as these energies surge through every fabric of our lives with new revelation, healing, direction, and the eradication of illusion and falsity. This is a time of great allowance. Where emptiness was, now is support. Where blindness was, now comes new sight. Where distortion and discord were, now a new love light. Make as much room for this as possible. While this is here to stay and will be here at work henceforth, why wait? Many otherworldly and preternatural phenomena will be occurring from this week onward. This is the return of the sacred nature of the soul, the power and ability to be a part of the spiritual and universal process rather than subject to it. This applies to those of all ages and experiences, though for many on this path it has become much more prevalent of late anyway. Expect more. These are shift opportunities. Now is the revelation of the true light and the restoration of the divine self. It is here to stay, bringing the return to the true soul journey for all willing hearts. Alright, Aries, now that we've had a chance to look over the incoming wave that is here to stay, right, for all populations, as sort of a general read for the week to come and beyond, let's have a look and see what is going on with this particular week for you. Quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links below. And if you are interested in learning tarot yourself, my Tarot Home Study course is on sale, $20 off, now only $19.99 through Tuesday, April 7th, and you can get that at my website as well. It's over 3 hours of content plus supplemental documents written by me. And again, you can follow the links below. Open the down bar if you are viewing on a mobile device, device, or go to integrativemysticism.com. So, what is going on here when it comes to your cards? Well, for your archetypal themes, we actually have the Fool sort of overlighting the entire week. And for a lot of you Aries people, this is a week where you're going to be noticing a great deal of enterprising new paths opening up, new roads opening up, things that are maybe already going on in the background, starting to physicalize, that you didn't necessarily know actually were, viable
options for you, whether they are enterprising in terms of, material security, a creative project or aspiration you're working on, and yes, even with love. But when it comes to the Fool, these are things that are going to seem a bit foreign. They're going to be things that are not part of our everyday. So you have to keep an open mind, right? We don't want to let any of our normal expectations or maybe our conditioning or sort of lifestyle routines and patterns to kind of color or limit what is allowed to show up in our space. Because with the Fool, we're being pulled off the path we are on onto something much brighter. The grass is greener when the Fool card shows up, and it's something that you want to consider in all areas of your space. So, let go of any particular qualities you may have and just kind of keep an open mind. Because even as we get into the news and arrivals for this week, we actually have the Nine of Pentacles upright. And again, we get this very strong enterprising energy that is all over this week for you. A lot of you may be finding out that a certain creative project, or maybe even a certain job, or maybe even a friend, a collaborator, or a family member has got some kind of powerful link or power-up or hookup for you that is starting to actually be quite promising. Now, this is a change that is going to be something that you have to integrate or perhaps make room for. Because what I'm getting from this Nine of Pentacles upright is that this is something that is not a part of your to-do list. This is something that is completely different. It may be something that you've already seen work for another person, or maybe this is coming through a friend or a relative or a collaborator that has already shown to maybe be successful in this area, or maybe somebody who is not only just boosting you up, but they really do want to work with you as equals. And it's kind of interesting when we get to material resources, because we have the Seven of Swords in reverse, and that kind of dovetails really well with that Nine of Pentacles. Because the Seven of Swords reversed is talking about things not going according to plan, but in the best of ways possible. Something that is sort of defying your expectations, especially if you have low expectations when it comes to a professional or financial concern. I am feeling like maybe something that you've kept on the back burner, or something that you've been maybe only working with half-time or half-heartedly, again, maybe even something you had low hopes for, is starting to actually germinate, and you might be finding that there is some fertile ground to play with here, whether it's a new job opportunity, a new role, maybe something that you're doing in private. But it's a wonderful, again, and very enterprising week for the Aries folks. And so when the Seven of Swords reverse shows up, unexpected good news, maybe unexpected wealth, or maybe an unexpected resource or tip-off starts to be a gift that keeps on giving. Now, as we get to love and relationships, well, we have the Six of Cups in reverse. And this week is going to be all about clearing the past, or purging the past for a lot of you. And I feel like this is something happening for your partners as well, if you're in an existing relationship or an established relationship, because the Six of Cups reverse is talking about some very strong personality changes. That's what I'm getting from it. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. This is definitely the turning over of a new leaf. If we have been maybe confronting or having to maybe deal with certain circumstances where a partner or maybe even a spouse has been kind of stuck in a certain type of lifestyle, they've been maybe stuck in a certain type of, I would say maybe a certain type of lifestyle, a certain type of headspace, a certain type of mentality, maybe getting stuck in some kind of cycle that they don't know a way out of, we're starting to see them bring out another side of their personality that you probably don't feel familiar with. Remember, it's going to feel very foreign with the Fool. But I do see dynamism here. I do see fresh energy. I do feel, it almost feels like you're in a relationship with a whole new person. They're still your partner, but at the same time, this side that's coming out is actually very attractive. For those of you who are currently looking for new love, the Six of Cups reverse is indicating that you might be finding yourself actually very attracted to somebody who does defy your normal type, or maybe is not a part of your normal type. So suspend any maybe defensiveness or resistance to open in the mind a little bit, because with the Six of Cups reversed, this is going to be somebody from a completely different background, a completely different sensibility, but at the same time, it's what's in the core that is actually generating this chemistry. It has nothing to do with external identification, and you may be finding that this is something worth exploring. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because you know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session, go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.